I know you're going to scream at me, you're going to pound the table, you're going to do everything.
I might.
You may even throw your mug at me.
Yep.
I would certainly pay Dak Prescott.
There you go.
And the reason that I would pay Dak Prescott, Skip, is 32 teams, and you have a quarterback that is at the top of those 32. Now, when I say top, I'm not talking, let's just start with the conference. If we want to have a conversation, a real conversation, Brock Purdy had a really good game on Sunday night that made everybody's eyes pop out. Right. If you remember when we first started the show, and the question was, what is Brock Purdy? Blah, blah, blah. But to me, I said, man, I just kind of need to see a full season.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, this year so far, I don't need to see anything else. He's at the top in the conference.
He is.
Then when you say, who else is at the top of the conference? You've got to think Jalen Hurts in your own division. Mm-hmm. You got to think Jared Goff in Detroit. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, in the conference, I'm taking Dak Prescott over Geno Smith. I like Geno, but I'm taking Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I just am. And I think everybody else would. Now, you get rid of the rest of the conference. There's not a quarterback in the conference better than Dak Prescott. So you start there. Mm-hmm. You say, well, what about the AFC? Mm-hmm. When you look at the AFC, the situation in San Francisco is perfect for Purdy. The situation in Miami and the AFC is a perfect situation for Tua. Mm-hmm. Now, just go down real quick the rest of the AFC. He ain't better than Lamar, Patrick, Herbert, Allen, Burrow, or Trevor Lawrence, to me.
No.
But that still sets him up in that 10, that 9, 10, 11 range. You got to pay him because you're not getting any of those quarterbacks. And do you want Baker Mayfield? Do you want – I'm trying to think of a potential – say he had to be under 50.
He got.
I said his starting point is probably there.
He got to be under 50 for me. And that should be his concern. Now, if you go to him and he's saying, "Hey, I got to be the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League," then that changes the dynamic. That changes everything. You're probably not going to sign an extension with this guy, and you need to start exploring your other options. But I think they will pay him. I think he'll make close to $48 million. Hopefully his mindset is, hey, we got to get other pieces around me, get to a championship. The way the salary cap is rising, they should have room to sign a guy. They got to get a true bona fide number one receiver for him. They got this offensive line is starting to get old, kind of beat up, so they need to start to get some reinforcements in there. But yes, I think you can do a lot worse, and that's what you don't realize until you get worse, is that, hey, it's what the Green Bay Packers are learning right now with Jordan Love. It's like, hey, we've had Aaron Rodgers, and you've taken certain things for granted over the years. You've taken 2-minute drills for granted. You look up and you have a 2-minute drill with Aaron Rodgers. You know how that's going to go. You don't even have to watch the game. I see 2 minutes. Aaron Rodgers, they're down by 2. Oh, they're about to win this game. I'm not even going to turn my TV off. But now you're going through the growing pains. You don't know how every game's going to go. It's a lot of inconsistency. It's the ups and downs of youth. And if you want to go through that, it would be a rebuild. If you go with Trey Lance, it would be a rebuild. It would be a lot of learning. It'll be a learning curve. It's not going to he's not going to go in there and just light the world on fire. Maybe he does, but that's once in a generation. A guy comes out there and just lights the world on fire, and you're like, man, he was born to do this. And so unless you're willing to do that, you better pay this man his money.
Mm. And now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to submit to you the real reason these two Cowboy haters, the deeper reason these two Cowboy haters, the underlying reason these Cowboy haters want me to keep Dak Prescott is because they want to see me suffer. They want to stay in their comfort zones of not having to worry about the Cowboys rising up and doing great things, big things, the way they did in the 90s and in the 70s. When they were dynastic. They don't want to see that happen again, so they want to keep me in my misery zone while they stay in their safe little comfort zones, knowing full well that when the big games arrive, that's going to happen to my quarterback. He's a 4th-round draft pick who turns right back into a 4th-round pick when the stakes are at their highest. He was deer in headlights the other night. You say, you can do a whole lot worse. We can do a whole lot better
How?
than Rain Dakota
How
Prescott.
though, Skip?
You just have to go do. If you're
Where?
that team, Jerry has drafted sensationally
Yes,
everywhere except at that position.
Where?
Okay, you just have to figure it out. You have to hit the reset button.
But
hit it.
But
Plunge.
also just hit the reset
Plunge.
button.
All right. Careful what you wish for.
I'm a little older, and when I say I mean like Jerry. I'm Jerry right now. I'm a little older. I'm trying to win.
Now,
I don't have time to hit a reset button to set my organization back another 10 years.
Okay, but you're talking about my goal should be, as you say, divisional and done, divisional and done, divisional and done. Okay, I got it. My goal is not that. I got spoiled. I'm a child of the 60s. I became a Dallas Cowboy fan in 1961 when I attended my first game at the old Cotton Bowl where Oklahoma did beat Texas the other day, but that's a whole nother issue that I have saved you from. Okay.
I care about the Cowboys.
You're in the Cowboy Hall of Fame?
No, Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame.
Are you really?
It sounds like you care about it a little bit.
No, I'm just telling him I don't.
Okay. All right.
I want him to talk about the Cowboys.
All right. My point is, I'm spoiled rotten. I know what it feels like to win Super Bowls or at least get to Super Bowls. I know that feeling. I have lived through it. I've covered it, and I've been there as a fan. So I get it. And you guys are relegating me to just sort of, can you barely squeeze into the playoffs maybe? Is that what you're going to do with that?
I'm doing what I always do for you, Skip. I'm trying to be reasonable and get you to understand the whole deal here. You don't have other options at the quarterback position.
Okay,
there is no Trevor Lawrence available in free agency.
Who says there isn't? How do other teams suddenly snap their fingers and pull it off?
No, they don't. They don't.
Okay,
they don't. They lose for a long time.
Okay, but how did Kyle and John Lynch? Did they get lucky? I'd say they got pretty lucky, right?
100%. But what did they trade away to get Trey Lance? They traded. So if you're
not
willing,
only that, they went and found a guy that fits exactly what they want to do.
I don't think they went and found him. I think he found them. But go ahead.
But what do your offense want to do? That's your problem, Skip. You guys sometimes look at things the wrong way. Your offensive coordinator, your offensive identity doesn't exist. They asked CeeDee Lamb, what is your guys' offensive identity through 5 games? I don't know. Yeah, neither do we. I'm looking at day one installs for offenses in crucial situations. Stick routes, dragons, lions, that's double slants. As a corner, I know what day one install of camp looks like. Day 2 install, day 3, it's the easy stuff. It's the simple stuff. And if that's the Texas coast offense,
it's
like
toast.
First off, it's toast. It's dumb.
So Skip,
you can do worse.
You say to me, let's get rid of Dak Prescott and find something different.
Okay, at some point,
so
you have to just